Hello everybody, my name is Michael, and in today's video what we're going to be doing is we're going to be celebrating Kobolduary. Now if you don't know what Kobolduary is, it's this funny little offhanded thing that Brent from GOOBERTOWN Hobbies and Casey from eBay Miniature Rescue made up on their podcast, where they decided that there needed to be another thing other than October to do with miniature painting, and they came up with this offhanded idea of Kobolduary. And I thought, what better way to celebrate Kobolduary than painting up the most expensive amount of kobold miniatures you can find. And I thought, why not start off Kobolduary with a big bang, first ever celebration of it. And one thing Brent also said too was that these miniatures were so expensive that no one would do a tutorial of them, and he would actually be surprised if someone would do them because they're so expensive. And as you could tell by the title of this video, these miniatures are even more expensive in my country, costing $100. So these is a very, very expensive video. So if you please could leave a like or even subscribe if you enjoy what I do here, it'd be very, very much appreciated. And also too, one more thing, Brent, if you do manage to see this video, someone had to do it and be the first, so I thought, hey, why not be me? Also too, don't hold it against me or take out anything. This is just a nice little fun video I thought would be a cool idea to do. And I thought, hey, why not celebrate that Kobolduary, that offhanded thing you mentioned one time in your podcast, and really try and turn it into something. We've got to go give something to these kobolds here. Someone's got to paint them up and be the first to do a tutorial. And I thought, hey, why not me? So this is what I'm going to be doing here. So let's go into the video and check out how we're going to be painting up these kobolds. Okay, so one thing to say about these kobolds, other than them being very, very expensive to buy, is that they're so tiny. They're little, especially for my big hands. As you can see me cutting them up here, there's such tiny little pieces, and they were a pain to put together. Such a long time and process, because each one of these things is carefully pulled apart, and areas that seem a little unnecessary, like the feet, connect to the bottom of the legs. It sort of seems unnecessary. They could have made just the torso and the legs as one piece, so you don't have to try and squeeze them together and get them in the right place, because man, I had a really bad time trying to put these things together. As you can see, me even just cutting them out was a bit of a hassle because they're so small. And here we go, guys. Here's the proof that I paid basically $100 for them. This here is a website in New Zealand that I buy my miniatures from when I can't find them in game stores and stuff like that. It's also the cheapest place I found them in New Zealand to find, so you can tell these things are really expensive in my country. And it says here that they're $95, but I also had to pay for shipping on top of that, which brought it over the $100 mark. But saying $100 for the video, I think worked out better than being at like $102 or $103, whatever it ended up being. And you can see on there as well that there's 5 left in stock, and don't be afraid and hurry and order them. But trust me, they've been there for a long time. I think I'm the only person in New Zealand who's actually brought these things. So let's get back into that painting. Okay, so now let's actually getting into painting these tiny little miniatures. As you can see, I have them all assembled and I have them primed up and they're ready for painting. So now what I'm going to be doing is, as you've seen here with the paints I'm using an orange and a brown. So the brown I was using was cavalry brown, which is sort of a reddish brown, and then an orange on top of that. And I've mixed them together to get this mix to try and emulate the actual color of the kobolds in the monster manual, because I wanted to try and do them sort of like the official kobolds that they see in the Dungeons & Dragons Monster Manual, since these things were based on the monsters from the Monster Manual. I thought, why not try and replicate it as close as I can get with the paints I have available on me, or adding in my own little spice here and there as well, as you can see. But it's just a matter of coming in, painting in all that skin area, and don't be afraid to really get in there with these models, because they're so tiny. So spend a little bit of time making sure that you go over and get a good coat everywhere, because it can be very hard to miss. I can't emphasize how small these things are. You can see my thumb in the video, and it's basically the size of my thumb now. So they're very tiny. Then once we have that part painted up, what we're going to be doing now is going in with some kobold skin. What order of painting of kobolds be without using a kobold paint if you have it? So you see here I have kobold skin, and as I'm showing you as well, I'm also switching back and forth between a bunch of these miniatures. In the pack of the kobolds here you get 7 miniatures, so I'm going to be switching between them here and there for what part looks sort of best on camera to show off. Like this one here I've put together, it's got his chest nice and open and exposed, And like I said, I'm trying to copy that D&D artwork where they have sort of a two-tone on their body that separates sort of their chest from other areas on the miniatures, so emulating that. And I thought, what better color to use than for the skin is kobold skin. So if you've got kobold skin, great, I may as well use it while I'm painting these expensive miniatures. Why not add in for that fun value? Okay, so once we have that area complete with our kobold skin, what we want to do is come in now with a dark brown. I'm using charred brown for this, and what I'm also doing is using my finest and smallest tip brush that I have available on me, and I'm just going to be going around and placing little dots over the kobold. Now, it may be very, very hard to see on camera, but they actually do have spots sculpted in. One thing I do got to say about these miniatures, even though they're so tiny, there is a lot of detail on these things. Bit hard for me to see that I'm actually painting on some of the spotted areas, but also too, some of the spotted areas are so small that the tip of my brush is even bigger than that. As well as that, I'm also going around and putting on a little stripe on the back of these nice scale plates that it has on its tail as well, so don't be afraid to go in and do that. And also, as you can see too, I'm painting up the little horns that our kobolds have in this nice dark brown. I went in with brown rather than black to try to give it a more natural tone, and I didn't want to be as striking with placing black on there. I wanted to feel like a organic, one organic sort of creature, so I went with dark brown rather than the black to stand out so much and make it a bit more tied in. So also to add on top of how expensive this miniature was to paint, I thought I'd do something crazy and make it even more difficult for me to paint, and I decided, why not? I'm going to go in and I'm going to try and paint the eyes of this miniature. I was already crazy by the point of painting in the tiny little dots, so I thought, why not? I'm on painting in these small little areas, I might as well try and get the eyes as well. I thought, hey, I've paid $100 for these miniatures, I'm going to get the most out of them that I can and really paint them up nicely and not waste anything here. So got to get my practice in for those eyes, because why not? I mean, I'm not going to miss out on the eyes for a model like this. And one thing I did on camera here is that I painted in the pupil of those eyes off camera, because I just couldn't. It was just too small. I couldn't see. You would have seen my face in the shot. It would have been horrible, and you wouldn't have seen anything anyway. So I had to do them off camera so I could get into those tiny little wee pupils. And boy, I tell you what, it was mission not only painting those pupils in, because they were so tiny, but also making it look like they weren't crazy cross-eyed little monsters. And as you can see now too, I'm also painting up the leathered areas, and I use rigid leather to do this, sort of a reddish leather, but totally up to you what you want to use here. Any brown is going to be great, just making sure that we get into those little areas that are straps. So go around picking up each one of those little kobolds and seeing what straps they have all over them. Okay, so now we have those straps painted up. What we're going to be doing now is coming in with this is going to be a color of your choice. I'm choosing dark green to do this. Totally up to you what you want to do here. And I'm going to be painting all the clothing on our kobolds here. So this one has a little loincloth on them. One of them has like a little vest. It's all slightly different. Most of them do have a little loincloth here. It's totally up to you what color you want to do here. I'm sticking with my sort of like earthy tone and something that they're used to. That's not super bright that they use to hide it in little spaces with, so that's why I went with a darker tone here, as well as I can also lighten it up to give it some good highlights. But totally up to you what you want to do here. I thought green would look good, and I think it does. Then once we've done that, finally an easy step on our miniature that we're painting up so far. That's been a lot of intense concentration. I'm going to be using agrax earthshade to do this, and that's just to give our miniature a wash. I'm giving it all over a wash, giving it a nice good coat. The only places I'm trying to avoid is those eyes, because I don't want it to get nice brown eyes in there and I can't see anything. But just as long as you're being aware of that as it's drying, you'll have no problem. So just giving it a good overall coat here. Okay, so this little kobold that I have here has a nice sort of bone as a club, so I just wanted to quickly point out that I'm just using skeleton bone to paint up this little club that this kobold has, and he's got a little eye patch in that as well. Very cool. I actually end up by using, I think, the exact same color, or if not a khaki color, to paint up the eye patch there that he has covering him as well. So just to let you know that we're at any bone areas, I'm just painting in skeleton bone. Now we've painted up that, what we're going to be doing is we're going to come in with some metal color. Totally up to you what metal you want to use here. I'm using gun metal, so sort of a darkish metal, great base coat to start off with. And I'm just going around and picking out any metallic area. So this one here that I built up, he's got himself a little chest plate. He also has himself a spear. And this one as well, you can see he has got a little skull as a cap or helmet I should say. So that's also where I used skeleton bone. And as you can see here, just being very careful picking out any metallic areas. Now, they don't have much metallic areas on these kobolds. It's sort of only, I think, 1 or 2 pieces, like little knives and little bits of weaponry is basically what it has. So don't be afraid to pick them out in any metal color you want. Like I said, I just went with gunmetal here, sort of nice neutral color for any sort of armor. Now this little kobold here, as you can see, he's got a little bucket on his head, and I gave him a sort of a rock in his hand, sort of, so I guess supposed to be like a little chisel, but I wanted to make it a little bit more flashy and something more eye-catching to the miniature. I thought I want to turn this into like a little gem that he's got, so I'm going with royal purple for this. I wanted a nice purple gem, which is going to bounce off our greens that we have here and our oranges and really make it a nice color to pop out on there. So it's just something to add in a little pop of color. Totally up to you what you want to do here. But if you wanted to turn it into a rock, then it's just you want to be painting up your basic greys, but I thought why not add something a little bit more to give it that bit more interest to the piece. Now for this little part here, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be painting up a little scorpion that this guy is holding. I'm using some ochre yellow to do this. Now this is one of the parts that Brent mentioned in his video when he was doing these kobolds. One really cool little added on extra piece that they have for this sort of bit that you can have. It actually comes with 2 in the pack, so you can have 2 holding scorpions here. I just chose the 1, but as you can see, very, very cool little bits and bobs they can add into these little kits and really make them stand out from your regular miniatures here. So it's cool that they've added in things like this to the set, but boy, the price tag, it's just so hard to justify. Then once we have that scorpion all coated in that nice yellow color, we're going to come in back now with some washes, and I'm going to be using seraphim sepia to do this too. One thing I didn't mention as well is that while I'm doing this, I also gave the scorpion a wash in the seraphim sepia too, so don't forget to do that. I sort of, because I've got so many miniatures, it's hard to remember which one I'm picking up at the time, and then when I'm coming in to do the voiceover like I am here, I forget that I can accidentally not do the one that I was just painting up just beforehand. But like I said, coming in with seraphim sepia and giving all these areas of bone and the scorpion a wash. Okay, so then once that wash is dry, what we're going to do is we're going to come in now with some of our original kobold skin, and I'm going to be using it to just be highlighting the areas where we painted up our kobold skin. And as you see, my camera's a little out of focus here, so it's a little bit hard to see, but like you know already, these things are so tiny and it's so hard to keep these things in focus. But what I'm doing is I'm going around and picking out all those muscles that I painted with our kobold skin beforehand and picking out the highest points and the highlights where the sun would sort of naturally hit to really help emphasize them and give them that bit more depth into the actual piece. Okay, so moving on to some more highlights now, and this time I'm going to be using my orange brownish mix that I used for the original skin tone, the back part of our miniature, so the main color of our kobold here. And I'm going around picking up the highlights, and as you can see, I'm on a roll again with my camera focus from the last shot to this shot, so you can't see really what I'm doing. But what I'm doing is just trying to pick out those areas where the spots on the kobold aren't really are, and also the highest points, just trying to pick out those areas. And now you can even see I don't even have the thing in frame, so all you can see is my blurry fingers, so that's nice and helpful. Nice big expensive kobold miniature. There we go, now I decided to get them in frame. That you couldn't even see what I was doing here. so expensive, and I can't even bother to put them in the shot. As you can see now, I'm picking out those high points. So let's move on to that next step, shall we? Now that we have that complete, what we're going to be doing now is I'm going to be placing in another wash, and this one here is going to be nuln oil, and I'm going to be using this for any metallic areas on any of our kobolds here. So as you can see, this one's got a nice little dagger, and the ones that you've seen beforehand, it's just a matter of coming in, picking out all those little areas where we want to apply the wash. Okay, so coming back to our scorpion now, I thought it was looking a little drab with just being the one color with the wash on it, so I wanted to add in a little bit more interest to the piece, and one way I can do that is applying another wash to give it some more excitement onto some areas. And as you can see, I'm using some caribou crimson to this, so this is a red wash here, and I'm just picking out some of the areas to give that wash, apply that to, and add in a little bit more color to the piece. I also add in some highlights in that on here as well, just to put a bit more emphasis onto that little scorpion there. So why not? I mean, this thing cost me a lot of money. I need to put a little bit of effort into all these other places and just give it that more eye-catching appeal. Then once we have that complete, what I'm going to be doing now is coming in with some shining silver. This is my brightest silver I have, and I'm going to be using this to be picking out the edges of our metallic areas, and it's just a matter of coming in and just brushing along those points and giving that nice reflective shine. And as you can see again, with these tiny miniatures, I've also gotten them completely out of focus, so it's nice and hard to see what I'm doing here. But you also might want to add some rust effects in here. I didn't think about this until after I'd fully painted them off. Maybe I could give them some nice sort of crusty old weaponry that would have added a little bit more excitement to the piece as well, but totally up to you what you want to do here. But with that done, we have actually finished painting up these kobolds, so now all I have to do is do some basing. So let's check that out in our glamour shots and see how these things came out after all that time and effort and money. And there you have it, everybody. That is a tutorial for the $100 miniatures of kobolds. And as you can see, they ended up by actually coming out great. Well, I mean, they should do. I put in a lot of time, effort, and money for these things, so I had to take them to as high a level as I could get them with these things. They do look nice, I will say, but one thing you might want to ask me is, are these things worth the money? And I'd have to say, even though they've got nice sculpts and they're really detailed, no, they're not. They're too expensive for what they are. They're too tiny. Like Brent pointed out in his video, you can fit them all on your hand like very easily. They're very tiny and very expensive, so I wouldn't recommend doing them. But Brent put out the challenge a little while, well, I should say not even a little while, it was a long time ago at this point, that no one would paint up these miniatures in a tutorial and put them on YouTube because they're so expensive and no one's crazy enough to do that. And I thought, I've been sitting on the plan for a long time and it just crept at me. I've been planning this video for a long time, and I thought, hey, I'm gonna do this, and I ended up by doing it. And one other thing too, I also put my face out there on camera. It's the first time showing my face. A lot nervous at that, but I wanted to ensure that by putting my face out there, that if Brent did take this the wrong way, that I don't mean any harm by it. So Brent, if you did ended up by watching this video, thank you for giving me the idea in this video, and I thought it would be a fun way to celebrate Kobolduary as well. So with all that, guys, if you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. It'd be very much appreciated, because as you can tell, this video was quite expensive and time consuming to make. But I just wanted to say again, thank you all for watching, and I can't wait to see you all in the next video.